Hi everybody, we just came back from the annual meeting at Herman Price's place in West Virginia and met a lot of great people there and reconnected with a lot of people that we only get to see face to face once a year or so. And based on what we talked about and what we saw at that meeting, we thought we would put together a quick video that might show some things that are of interest.
Right, and maybe give you a couple updates on some other things that have happened. First of all, just updating a previous video we did. We had a chance to look at Herman's Woodstock number 3 related to the Enel, which is an earlier video on this very YouTube channel. The result of that examination is no change. Repeat, no change in our analysis of what the Enel is and isn't. So that's good news, actually.
Herman, we had our hands all over your Woodstock 3 while you weren't looking.
Yeah, you weren't there. It's okay. It's okay. We saw a whole lot of transactions going on out in the driveway. Boy, there was money changing hands. And
that was exciting. Some good machines went in that trade. And there were some good machines that didn't go.
Yeah, like this one. Could not sell this one to save our lives.
No.
Does anybody recognize that case? It's a funny looking case, and if you didn't have anything sitting on the workbench, you know, there to give it scale, you might say, well, it's got a curve in it. Maybe it's a National Portable or a Portex or something like that, but it's not. Go ahead and lift that open there. Yeah, this is an aluminum frame Hammond multiplex portable. This is not a folding Hammond multiplex. It's the aluminum frame portable. If we look back here, and I'm going to have to get this light.
I got it.
Over here on the side. And if I go right down there on the frame, well, boy, this is just not going to focus.
It might not show.
Well, yeah, right here, the serial number has an AL prefix because the frame is aluminum. These were introduced in 1915. I believe Peter Wheel told us on the spot. And has a very conventional-looking typewriter case. The only thing that folds is the space bar. Comes down, and then there you go. Oh well,
and nobody wanted it.
Nobody wanted it. Although I was charging the price I paid for it. So
yeah, and it didn't sell.
And it didn't sell. And now I discovered that they're a little harder to find than I had thought. We've taken it off the market.
Yeah, no more, no longer for sale.
So you snoozed, you lost.
But of all the machines we thought would sell, we thought this would go first, and everything else sold. And not this.
Yeah, I was a little surprised, but that's okay. You know, there were a few machines we brought on purpose for people.
Right.
Oh, you know what, Dave? Why don't you go grab that? There's a Corona 4 over there. We've got some friends that are collecting Corona 4s.
Oh yeah.
And I just want to show you something. If you're a fan of the Corona 4 portable, this is something you should keep your eye out for. These are a little harder to find than you might imagine. There's a Corona 4, but if we look carefully, we'll see. Well, maybe we won't because we don't have the light.
Let's see.
Let's see. Take 2. If we look carefully, down beneath the word Corona, if you can get the light right straight down, see it actually says 4, F-O-U-R. And if we look at the front frame.
Manufactured by Corona Typewriter Company, Inc., Groton, New York, USA.
Right. This is not an L.C. Smith and Corona 4.
Nope.
This is the Corona 4 right after it was introduced.
Yep.
But before the merger. So, for those of you that are keeping your eyes out for Corona 4s out there.
And variants.
Yeah, and variants. And you pass by plain black ones.
Look.
Maybe you should
give them
here. Give them
another
look.
Look.
Okay. And speaking of Corona, what that's sitting on top of there.
This guy over here.
We were all talking about how we got into collecting typewriters and blah blah, and the fact that a certain person in each family is victim 0, and then it spreads to other.
Gets contaminated.
Yeah.
And spreads it to somebody else.
Yeah. Well, take a look at this.
We in our family when we were kids. Our dad had a Remington...
The 17 standard,
17 standard, yep. And he had bought that from Cleveland Typewriter, I think he said.
I think so.
And it was just unworkable. And so before we were even in middle school, we don't remember exactly when, before we were in middle school, he went and bought traded that in and bought this from Cleveland Typewriter. And this exact typewriter is the one that Will and I typed all of our book reports, all of our papers, everything from at least middle school through high school on was this exact machine.
Yep.
We learned to type on this. We learned to compose papers.
Well, we could mess around with the Remington 17, but not seriously.
Yeah.
We've made gibberish with it.
Yep. So this machine is what got us through those years in high school.
And I'll just tell you right now, we were pretty much on the cutoff of that of teaching typing in middle school.
Right,
there were no computers to speak of in high school.
No.
Certainly no keyboard in class, and I'll just tell you right now, we're 46.
Yeah, this is in 1986.
That we graduated.
The Commodore 64 had come out, but all it could do was draw straight lines on a screen. Our computer lab had 2 computers in it at high school.
That's pretty much how old you have to be before that cutoff.
Right. So right around there is the cutoff. So this is what we started with, and strangely enough, oftentimes this is what we go with. I don't use this machine, but the portable I have handy to grab is a Tower President, which is exactly this machine.
Yep. Speaking of portables, Speaking of portables, we didn't entirely make it away from Herman's meeting empty-handed. Now, if you want to careful with that. It's still not latched.
Okay.
This the case on that's kind of a bear, so we're careful with that.
It's not for sale anyway, even if
it's still not for sale. Yeah.
Which one
Reduced price. That one. Yeah, that's it. So Gabe had this out there for sale, and he knew I couldn't pass on it. So
it was a plant.
Yeah, it was a plant. So this is going to be familiar to some of you. Did a little Bulgarian translating today. That's Heroes or Hebros, depending on how you look. 1300 and then F. That looks like a theta, but that really would correspond to an F. And that's because this has a fixed tabulator. Of course, this is a Bulgarian Maritza. Typewriters Works Plovdiv. Dave, maybe you can get it out and spin it around, and we'll look on the back, and yep, there's exactly the emblem you expect. Let me see if I can get a good look at that. Yeah, and of course this thing just does not want to focus. And believe me when I tell you, it says, here, turn it this way just a little bit. Yeah, it says Typewriters Works Limited Plovdiv. So if we look at this machine, the neat thing about it, other than the fact that it's Bulgarian Cyrillic, is that it has all of its papers. And so we can derive from this machine some date information. So let's see what we have in here. Maybe you can get that out because I can't get...
Hard to do with one hand. We got a very low budget here, folks.
That's right. If you
want better videos, you better start sending money.
Yeah, low production
all the money
budget.
For the equipment.
But so here's a sales receipt for the typewriter, and if we look here, we'll see 1997 for the sale date. Yeah, so maybe that's just later. That's on the top there. That says Typewriters Works Limited Plovdiv, and there's the serial number of the typewriter. This line right here translates to date of manufacture, and it's something in 1996. So this machine's decently new. This is the type alignment sheet that you would expect to find with one of those machines. There are no dates on this. These are the numbers of quality assurance inspectors. This guy missed the box with his stamp there, but you'll see another one of these in English in a moment. Here's the option sheet for the typewriter. There's that little emblem again, and that tells you the language, the color of the body. Sometimes these are green instead of white on the outside with a black. Sometimes these are green. The type of case and what characters, and then more quality assurance stamps, and finally the overly simplistic manual for the 1300, 1300T, and the 1300F. And there you go. So what's interesting about this machine is that it's in pretty original condition. It has all of its paperwork with it. And what might be surprising to some people is how new it is.
Yeah.
So
think about that, 1986. 96.
Yeah, 96 it was made and sold in 97.
Right, so it's not like it even sat around on a shelf for a long time.
No, so we have another machine similar to this. I'll tell you right now, I introduced the typewriter collecting world to these Bulgarian typewriters back in about 2000 or 2001 when I got a Maritza off of Yahoo Auctions. How many people out there remember Yahoo Auctions?
I do. It was terrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. But there was stuff in there. There was stuff in there that you couldn't get off eBay. And you could use the Western Union MoneyGram on that. Bid pay. It turned into bid pay.
Right.
And then I got this and I discussed these typewriters a little bit with a couple contributors on Bob Moran's Antique Typewriters Down Under connection. How many people remember that open forum?
3. All 3 of you.
Yeah. You know, me, Chuck and Rich, Herman Price,
4.
Peter Wheel, maybe.
5.
Yeah. Anyway, when I got this from Gabe.
Thanks, Gabe.
Thanks, Gabe. Yeah, at a fire sale price. I remember this Montgomery Ward 101. Again, this is a Bulgarian-made. What's normally seen as a Maritza. And I thought we had done this piece on this typewriter recently. Well, I look at our blog and it turns out it's 2010 that we posted this. So I just want to show you an interesting thing about this typewriter. So if I get, maybe if you can take that out. If I take out the instruction manual for this typewriter and look at the back of the instruction manual, I see Chiromi ink. That's English, right? That doesn't sound like Bulgarian. Well, it's not. That's the importer.
Yep.
And look at the warranty card for this typewriter. The warranty card, even though this typewriter is sold through Montgomery Ward, the warranty card is through Chiromi, right? You don't return the typewriter to Montgomery Ward.
Garfield, New Jersey.
Yeah, Chiromi handles it. Now we see something that looks real. There is a type alignment sheet, and if your memories haven't completely failed, we saw a similar one over here.
Typewriter plant Plovdiv.
Yep, saw a similar one over here. Right, so there's one piece of paperwork that came with this typewriter from the manufacturer. Now, if you take this thing out of the case here. Oh no, just don't even bother with that. Just turn it around. Turn around. Look at that label right there. Now, it's hard to focus there, but it says, just hold it still for 1 second here. It says, Ward's Manual Typewriter, model number 101 DCG 8001, and then serial number 973155. Now, hold on a second. Put it back down. 973155 is the serial number. Get that type alignment sheet out. What's the serial number on there?
111-76474.
Well, that's funny. They don't match. If I go inside this typewriter, though, if I go, let's see now. Yeah, pick it up at the front, and then yeah. If I go right down in here, if I look right down in there, and again, this is not focusing. Right there, I find the serial number. Right there. I find a serial number that matches the type alignment sheet. So what's happened is the importer and Montgomery Ward have assigned a different serial number. It goes on the back first. Have assigned a different serial number to the typewriter than the manufacturer did.
Just for tracking purposes.
Right, for their own purposes. Now, Dave had an interesting revelation about the Montgomery Ward's typewriters a while back. If you turn that back around, Dave, and look at that Montgomery Ward serial number there. You see serial number what? What's the first 2 digits?
101 DC.
Well, right here, this serial.
Oh yeah, 97, yep.
Now, what's that tell us? Well, we believe that they were, for some reason, reversing 2 digits, which represent the year, and making that the start of the serial number. So that would be 79.
Yep. And that holds with sales material that we have.
For Brothers,
yeah. We have other receipts and everything that would seem to hold that up. Through a number of different kinds of typewriters.
Yeah,
so.
for Brothers or others sold to Montgomery Ward. So yeah. So if we assume 79 for this typewriter, that's pretty comfortable. I'll be putting some other data on the blog post that'll go with this video. But the plant to build these typewriters in Bulgaria was built in 1968 in Plovdiv. Okay, that's when it started production. The company was liquidated after privatization sometime around 2007. I'll get that all on there. Looks as if there were problems with corruption during the privatization, just like you might imagine there would be.
What?
When state-owned firms all of a sudden are privatized, there's room for anybody to step in. But 68 to certainly 97 for privatization. That's well around the suspected date for this. And that puts this right here, right near the date of privatization, right before it. So,
and mechanically,
yeah, they're the same typewriter.
It's the same machine.
They're pretty much
the same
typewriter.
The body's different, but
yeah,
it's the same.
ribbon selector's in the same spot. Identical key, almost identical key tops except for the color. Well, no, these are the later style. I take that back. These are the type that you'll see on the 30, which is the plastic-bodied dowel-mounted one you see. It's a copy of the Silver Seiko. But I've been after one of these for a long time. Usually see these labeled Omega 1300. Turns out Omega is not a name owned by Typewriters Works Plovdiv. It's owned by an importer to the United States, General Consolidated something or other.
Consolidated.
And they eventually turned that trademark over to Chiromi in the late 1970s. So that also jives with the
just another example
suspected
of
date.
There are always more companies willing to sell something than there are companies that can make something.
That's right. That's right.
It's all about rebranding.
So anyway, we've been reporting on this manufacturer for, I don't know, at least 12 years. I think I got my first, like I said, I think I got my first one around 2000 on Yahoo Auctions. And they still intrigue me, so we'll be putting some more information about that in the
and they're nice little machines.
blog post. Yeah.
Compact, flat,
Yeah, it's pretty high quality typewriter for its size.
Yeah.
And of course, just so that we don't leave it out, this is the tooling the tooling of the West German Princess, Keller and Napich, sent to Bulgaria to manufacture this typewriter. So anyway, that's all we have coming from the update from Herman Price's meeting. You got anything else, Dave?
Nope. Good times, though. Good times.
Yeah, it was great seeing all you folks again. And if you haven't been to one of those get-togethers, boy, you're missing out.
You should get there.
Yeah. So that's all we have for now. We'll see you again soon.